Hey guys, I'm with Elevation Every Weekend here. In today's video, we're going to do a really quick install of the stock Tacoma roof rails for my 3rd gen 2018 Tacoma TRD off-road. It's a really straightforward process, so it shouldn't take more than a few minutes video time. I'm going to walk you through the process and give you a quick explanation because the kit did not come with any instructions, and I didn't really think it was necessary to pay $100 or more and dealing with the hassle of trying to drive all the way down to the dealer and have them do it and have the truck for several hours. So I've already unboxed the kit, and I'm going to show you real quick what comes inside the box. But before I show you that in the bed of my truck, I did just want to explain real quick. I've been interested in finding a roof rack solution for my Tacoma for about a year now, and I did quickly decide I did not want to do an aftermarket roof rack because I didn't want to incur the cost, the complexity, and add the weight to the roof and the overall payload of the truck. And frankly, I just didn't need the extra capability that a more integrated full roof rack would give you. I really just wanted the stock roof rails so I can have a good handhold when I'm deploying my rooftop tent for my bed. And if I ever did need or want to mount something up there for a trip, I would have some capability to do so, even though it's not going to be something I'm doing on a regular basis. So let's move over to the bed, look at the kit, and then we'll get going on the install. So this here is the kit in its entirety. You have the left roof rail, which is complete. It has the crossbar mounted. You have the right roof rail, which does not have the crossbar mounted. We'll get to that later. You have these two brackets. They are labeled left hand, as you can see right there. And then there's the right hand, so the passenger side. And then of course you have some paperwork and the bolts to mount them. Now I did already open this and look at the paperwork thinking it might be instructions. It is not. It is just directions on how to use them and all the warnings associated with it. So these stock factory roof rails are only designed to hold up to 100 pounds. But again, for my occasional use, that will be fine. And one of the other big benefits to these is that the weight of the kit is only 14 pounds. So a lot of the aftermarket, more integrated systems are certainly going to weigh a lot more than that. And you can tell that this is the back because it has this little tail that will go right in that area right there. Okay, so let's get on with the installation. So the first thing we need to do is remove the stock weather stripping that's in the channel. And the Tacoma is pre-drilled to accept the stock roof rails, which is really helpful. And another benefit, I didn't have to do any additional drilling or anything like that. And it's another benefit with going with the OEM kit is that you get the R&D and the longevity testing that they will require of it, and you know it'll last. There were a number of other kits that were much cheaper online from Amazon that were aftermarket, but similar in design. But I was really concerned that those might not have the fit and finish of the stock Tacoma rails or hold up over time with the weather and things like that. As far as the cost goes, these usually list for about $350 or $60 on the dealer website. I happened to find these on sale for $250 with free shipping. So I went ahead and jumped on it and bought them from a dealer at that price, and they shipped them to me. I will link that dealer down below. I don't know if the deal will still be going on, but you can certainly check it out and maybe benefit from it as well. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is remove the stock weather stripping, which runs the length of the roof. So starting right here, you can actually just pull it up pretty easily, and you can see it just pops right out. You don't need to use any tools or anything to pry it out. So we'll just go ahead and pull this out. It looks like they might have a little adhesive here. Try to pull that slow. And it's out. That's it. And we will save that. And then there's this little tail piece right here. And again, there's some adhesive. All right, it's out. Let's take a look. All right, looking at the channel, I am gonna clean this out because I've got about 4 years of crud built up in here, so I will clean this all out. But right here, you can see the hole is here and here, and there is some like sealing there. So instead of peeling this off, I'm gonna go ahead and just put a little hole in here so the bolts can go through, and then try to utilize that stock seal that they have, and hopefully it'll be even better. And of course that carries through to the other holes. There's another batch right here, there's a hole right here, and there's 2 more holes back here. All right, I got the rail pretty much cleared out of all the gunk. There was a little bit of adhesive on that back that I did have to peel off, but other than that, it was super simple. I'm gonna go ahead right now and use my razor here and just put holes in the existing weather stripping, and we'll do that on all the holes, and then we'll get to the mounting part. Okay, as you can see, I did open up and get all the bolts sorted out, so let me show you what we're gonna use. So to mount the brackets, you will use these 2 red Loctite bolts. They are all Torx head bolts, just so you know that. So the 2 red bolts will be used here to mount the bracket to the truck. The rail will snap in here, so if you can see up there, there's a yellow, it's just a push pin, like a snap mount, so that'll press into that hole right there. Then you'll use the short dark blue bolts to mount the roof rail to the bracket when it's installed. And then the long light blue bolts will be used to also secure the rail to the truck. And that's it. I also included these peel and stick rubber gaskets, which I will use, but you will want to make sure you have those installed around all the holes. And it'll be rinse and repeat on the right side. The only other difference is there is one additional bolt. That's this one here. And that'll be used to just install the cross rail. So that's all that's for. That's the only difference. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this installed and then show you the end result. Okay guys, I did get the peel and stick gaskets installed. So there's 2 there up front, 1 here in the middle, and then the remaining 2 in the back. So now we're gonna go ahead and get the front bracket mounted and then we'll get the rail on. Okay guys, first bracket is installed. It's super solid. I didn't have any torque settings for these bolts, so I just tightened them down really good and tight. They do have Loctite on them. It does remind me of one thing I did want to mention. Toyota does recommend you check the bolts periodically if you are carrying a load on a regular basis, or if you're doing any like off-road, dirt road type driving where anything up here might be vibrating and moving around. All right, I do have the left rail up here, so I'm going to try to install this one-handed and see if we can get that on there. So basically, as I mentioned earlier, this yellow part will snap into this portion right here, and then the other dark blue bolts will mount right there. And then see if we can get this lined up. So it is now in place. And to actuate the crossbar, what you do need to do to get to the bolts is you just pick this up and pull this out, and I'll just move that right there. And that'll give me access to mount the 2 dark blue short bolts right here. So I'm gonna get those mounted up, then we'll go ahead and mount the other 3 remaining long bolts and go from there. Okay guys, these bolts are now installed, but they're not tight yet. There is actually a slight bit of play. So before I tighten these down, I went ahead and made sure I started this bolt and then these 2 bolts back here, and made sure that they were started and in line with the inserts on the roof before I tighten everything down. So I'm gonna tighten everything down and that'll be that. Okay guys, the roof rail is completely installed. It was super simple. The final thing to do is just to come around here to the back. You wanna peel off this red tape. There's some sticky foam back here, and you'll tuck this in and push it down, and then that'll be done. Okay, there you go. You can see it is fully installed now. I do have a little roller here, so just to roll down that adhesive and make sure it's a good seal, and we're calling it good. All right guys, passenger side is on. It was the exact same install on the base part, and then you just had to add this bolt here to get the crossbar installed, and it latches right back in the back. I'm gonna go ahead and get this truck out in some better light and maybe even a more scenic location, and I'll show you real quick how these work, and then we'll wrap up the video. All right guys, we're back, and it's been a couple days, and I do have the roof rails installed. Again, installation went pretty well. It's pretty straightforward, and so far so good. Real quick, I'm just gonna show you how easy it is to change the positioning of the rails. So this is how I'll keep them most of the time, which is in the side position. But when the time does come to actually use it as a roof rack, the rails telescope, so they connect to each side. I'm gonna show you that real quick. So all you do is flip the latch here. It pops out. So again, you just grab the latch, pop it out. And this part comes in here. And that is locked. And then the last step is just to grab the last one, and it mounts in the inside hole. There you go. It is now mounted. It's good to go. If you found this video helpful, drop a like down below. If you have any questions or comments, drop that down in the comments down below. And if you want to continue to follow any of my adventures with the truck and my bikes, definitely subscribe to the channel. It does really help out. Lots more on the way, and I'm going to be getting the truck loaded back up with gear for the summer camping season, so that's coming real soon. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.